So now should we talk a little bit about Superman, guys? Man, everybody gets so butthurt when I talk about Superman. My goodness. Well, buckle up. So, Superman, James Gunn, Superman movie, super big deal. Not to be hyperbolic, but the failure of this movie could destroy a 200-year-old studio, maybe 100-year-old. I don't know. How old is Warner Brothers? Yeah, so a lot's at stake with Superman. And it's the first movie in the DCU. It's the first movie that James Gunn is directing in the DCU. Lots at stake. So, over the past 6 months, there have been a lot of rumors about the screenings for Superman. I've covered this so much, but I think it is worth just going over our bases again here. Let's explain the timetable as far as we understand it. So, apparently, there was a screening late last year. Okay, maybe it was more than one screening, maybe it was just one screening, but essentially, this was what is known as the assembly cut of the film. Maybe it's called something else in certain circles, but it is like the first version of the movie, not completed visual effects, but you have a actual shot-for-shot version of the film, right? So everybody at the studio is really excited, of course, but maybe nervous because there's a lot on the line. Okay, so they have this test screening. The only things we know for sure, I'm going to be very specific about this. The only things we know for sure is that the trades put out an article and said something to the effect of, we're going to keep the buzz about that screening in our own fortress of solitude. That's what the trade said. They later deleted that after Jeff Snyder pointed out that likely means the buzz was bad. Otherwise, they would share the buzz. Now, let's be super crystal fucking clear about that. That is a little bit of couching from Jeff. That is him saying that they said that because of this. We don't know for sure why they said it, but they did fucking delete it after he said that. Okay? So, the point is, the results of this screening seem to be some closely fucking guarded secret, and we're not 100% sure what happened. But what we do know for sure is that the CCXP scheduled panel for the DCU was canceled soon after that. We do know for sure that the trailer was delayed. There was an event where press was supposed to come out and see the trailer first, and then they were going to talk about it. It was originally scheduled for, I don't know, I think like the 13th or something, and then it was delayed a week. And this was done because apparently some changes happened to the trailer. And this is all coming from pretty reliable people. Take it with a grain of salt. But look, the truth is Gunn smashed out the ability for like good journalists to just cleanly report about this stuff. Like 2 years ago when Adam B. Very had that scoop about how Gunn wanted Pattinson, dude, Gunn publicly chastised him and tagged him on Twitter. It was crazy. So like, people don't cover James Gunn's shit because he is weird and debunks all this shit and talks outside of both sides of his mouth on Twitter. That's just the reality of the situation. What that has led to is an environment of uncertainty. There's just not a lot of people willing to talk about the Gunn stuff. And frankly, I'm sure there are a lot of people that know for sure that this movie is I'll say it like this. People are divided on the movie. And I guarantee you there are people out there that know that are not speaking up about it because of James Gunn. So that's like all the cards on the table. Now, within the past couple of months, there were reports from Jeff Snyder that it was bad. And he had implied a couple of things, that the visual effects, they were really worried about it. But more recently, he had discussed the tone of the movie, okay? And when discussing the tone of the movie, he basically said it was Guardians of the Galaxy Superman, it was super jokey, and that may or may not have been connected to the divided audience, the fact that a lot of people were like, I don't know about that shit. So while this is all conjecture and we're just taking secondhand rumors or whatever, again, it is the best we can do if you're really trying to be accurate. Now, within the middle of this, there were people like Robert Meyer Burnett, there were people like John Campea, and there were people like Daniel RPK that came forward to say they have heard from people that saw Superman and they loved it and they really, really liked it. Now, here's the truth. I'm not here to talk shit on Campea or Robert or Daniel. Maybe Daniel a little bit, but not really. I like those guys. But the reality is this. I know for sure, maybe I shouldn't say that part. Here's what I'll say. I think these guys know that there are people that saw it that don't like it. I think it's absolutely true that there are people that saw it that really like it. For sure. And at the end of the day, maybe it's Guardians of the Galaxy Superman, and it's still just really good. Like, people just really fuck with it, and they like it. Okay? But there started to be this narrative because of John, because of Robert, and because of Daniel, that, hey, Superman's really good. Maybe Jeff Steiner was just being shitty. Maybe he was, whatever. This movie's really, really good. Well, I now want to share with you a couple of things. Now, this is stuff from Reddit, and I kind of feel bad because viewer Anon was just like on Reddit, and he probably didn't expect like internet detectives to screenshot his comments and be like, "Oh shit!" But alas, that's the world we live in. Okay, well, let's start with this one first. This is maybe the most important part. The other part's kind of a spoiler. So viewer Anon said, just to keep expectations in check, the response I heard directly from Warner Bros. Was decidedly less glowing than Daniel's post. That is a direct response to a post that popped off for Daniel RPK. Went up, I think it's like at 10,000 likes or something like that, where he said he heard from somebody that saw Superman that like loved it, and he's like, Superman's great, or the new screenings are great, or whatever he said. By the way, I'm damn sure Daniel knows the truth. I'm damn sure Daniel knows the truth, and maybe he'll admit it in the next couple of days. We'll see. But that's why viewer Anon said this, because Daniel had a post that went super viral, basically saying Superman screenings are great. Now, let's get the full scope here. Not to say it went terribly, but it's a divisive film with a particularly silly tone. Some people click with it. Some people seem to bounce right off. Okay. Now, the main thing I'm trying to get across here, the whole thing I'm trying to report to you, is that I believe, I'm not 100%, but I believe I was dead ass on a couple of weeks ago when I had the take that said, I think the reason they hired this marketing guy was because they made a really jokey Superman, and they're trying to figure out how to sell that to the public. Warner Brothers, and at least a large amount of Warner Brothers executives, do not like this tone and are really worried that audiences will reject it. So, like, again, we live in a world. We live in a society, okay? And we live in a world where this is all potentially hearsay and rumors, and we're talking about screenings that happen in Hollywood, and then they talk to people, and then we get it as a game of telephone, et cetera, et cetera. But also, I've been doing this a long time, man. We're actually pretty good at what we do over here, and I don't really consider myself a journalist, and yet somehow I feel I have more journalistic integrity than a lot of motherfuckers out there. So, like I was doing last time, I'm just reporting the facts and trying to make sense of it the best that I can. As far as I understand it, James Gunn did make Guardians of the Galaxy Superman. It is possible that they have adjusted it and changed it in the screenings, and it's maybe a little less Guardians of the Galaxy Superman. It is also possible that Guardians of the Galaxy Superman is fine and people like it. For me personally, this is one of my biggest concerns with Gunn making this movie. I'm not sure I'll like it, frankly. But I'm open to it. It's even myself, I'm trying to be open to the possibility of this being good. But if you really want to know what the fuck is going on, okay, if you don't want to just, oh, Superman's great, or oh, Superman's shit. No, the truth is, it's probably just Guardians of the Galaxy Superman. And that may be separate from the conversation of quality. Tone, quality, maybe separate conversations. We're going to see how the audiences respond to it. We're going to see. We're going to see. Okay. Now, one other thing that I want to bring up. Just one little thing that I want to bring up here. Okay. You might ask, how goofy are we talking here? Okay. Well, let's look at this. This is a rumor from My Time to Shine. Hello. Okay? Rumor. The first possible quote from James Gunn's Superman has been revealed. I'm Superman, bitches. If you're listening on the podcast, that's not dead air. My jaw was literally on the ground. Let's hope this Shane. Oh, James! Oh, James! Oh, James! Whoa now, James! Whoa now, brother! Come on, brother! I mean, I wanted the dub, but you didn't have to do it like this. This is crazy. Please take this out of the movie. I will just, no. Okay. Anyway. Updates about Superman. I think we're going to find out more soon. I think the cat will come out of the bag. And by the way, I know a lot more. I can't talk about it, though. I don't want to get into specifics about the plot or whatever. Yeah, this shit's coming out. Thanks for watching. And if you like this clip, smash a like on the actual video and subscribe to this channel. That way more of these clips get into your feed. I've also linked the full episode below if you want to check out the entire thing, including the Q&A we do with fans. You can also watch this show live. We do it live Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. And you can also find all of my content, including the videos I put on my main YouTube channel, on the podcast feed.